In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Dark Assembly terrain from Red Beam Designs. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So, if this is your first time here, thank you very much for watching. Why not click the subscribe button so you don't miss an upload from me. So recently, I bought some of the Dark Assembly terrain from Red Beam Designs, and I bought this for a couple of reasons. One is that whilst I really do like the Games Workshop terrain, I just felt the price of it and the time it would take to assemble everything was a little bit off-putting for me personally. I don't game that much at home, and so I didn't want to invest a lot of money into the Games Workshop terrain. So I started looking for some cheaper alternatives. And that was when I looked at the Red Beam Design terrain. They do a couple of different types of Necromunda style terrain, but what really attracted me to the Dark Assembly one is that everything is magnetized, so it can be taken apart, stored away, and it can also be rebuilt in a number of different ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the terrain, but first, before you go and watch that, Graham at Red Beam Designs saw that I'd posted a few pictures of it, that I'd been building this online on Instagram, on the Necromunda Facebook groups, and has very kindly sent me a 10% off code that you can use to buy the Dark Assembly terrain for yourself, should you enjoy this video and should you like the look of the terrain. So that to get 10% off Dark Assembly terrain only at the redbeamdesigns.com website, enter the code BlackJack Legacy 10. As I said, this will get you 10% off any Dark Assembly terrain and is valid until the end of 2017. So I'll remind you again at the end of the video, but let's go and take a look at it. So what we have here is a selection of the parts that you will make up when you get the Dark Assembly kit to enable you to make those fantastic boards. So the bulk of everything kind of stems around these kind of base sections, which can be used as towers, just as base tiles, and we'll show how this all fits together in a moment. There's some ladders, there's some steps. We have the main posts that support these base sections, and then on top of those we have these little sort of platforms with a bit of a guardrail around them. We also have little barriers to stop things falling off the edges. We then also have these smaller platforms as well, and then we have walkways which basically join different sections together. So we'll just move some of these out of the way, and I'll show you exactly how these fit together. So they obviously all come just as MDF parts, and you have to glue them together using, I use just kind of craft glue, or PVA glue. You could use super glue, but I guess it just becomes a bit expensive that way. And what we've got in these sections are we have magnets, which are in the front here, which will support against the platforms. We have magnets in the top, and we also have magnets in the bottom as well. So the way this works is that these platforms, as you can see, also have magnets here and a slight cut out there. So the way these two sections come together is the little sort of lip there just supports the weight of the platform, and then the magnets hold it all together. What you can then do is use further bases to clip together. Now that itself isn't particularly stable. However, what we do is we then put these guardrails on, which again have magnets, and that can clip onto there, and that clips onto there. And what you see is that it's now supported underneath from the little lip, and it's also supported from the top as well. So that becomes much more stable. I wouldn't recommend you build these with two legs, but this is just to show you really. You then have other options like the ladders. So again, these steps here also have magnets on as well. So what we can do is then clip on some steps to come up the front of the building, and then we have these little guardrail sides that just, and again these basically have some front pieces here for decoration. There's a little pin that goes through, but you can see on the other side it sticks out a little bit, and that just basically stops it dropping too far down as well, and again it gives it a little bit of stability. So we then have these small ladders again with magnets on. They can clip to the side there. What we can also do is, if I'll just grab an extra leg piece. What I'll show you now as well is if I take sort of some of these off, if I put an extra leg piece there for a bit of stability, and we put one here as well, that just makes the whole thing a little bit more stable. And if we move this one around to here, I'll move that across a little part rather. And what you can do is you can put a walkway to the side. You could put one of the extra smaller little platforms there. You could then support that with one of the legs. You can then put a ladder on. And very quickly you can see how this all comes together and how it can be built very quickly. So what I'll do now is I'll set up the camera, I'll build up a little bit of a platform or a bit of a layout, and you can see how easy it is to go together. What's also really interesting is the Games Workshop stuff that either came with Shadow War Armageddon or is designed for Necromunda, is exactly the right height as well for these. So, for example, we can put this sort of tower onto there. Oops. We can then, let me just pop this up. We can then add that in. Back on top. And we can then put these on top as well, so it looks as if it's actually coming up through the tower there as well.
So then folks, there we have it. A little bit of information about the actual product itself. What I would say is it all comes already punched out. It doesn't come on the big sort of MDF sheets that you sometimes get with MDF terrain. So that was really, really good. Everything came in separate little bags and it was really easy to assemble. There's no instructions in the box, but there are some very, very clear instructions on the Red Beam Designs website. I just popped my laptop open and had it up on the screen while I was sitting building it. And once I'd built one of kind of each of the parts, you realise they very easily go together. Next I would say is that the quality of the cut is absolutely fantastic. It really does fit together well. There's no kind of sloppy fits where you feel that you have to wait for glue to dry before you can do the next bit because it just kind of moves around. The quality of the fit is excellent and I definitely recommend it just for that quality alone. One thing I would say is that plan ahead. If you do get this stuff, plan ahead when putting the magnets in. It's quite easy to put the magnets in the wrong way around, and what I did was I got the pile of magnets, I kind of put them down onto a metallic base so I knew they were all facing in the same direction, and then I put a spot of super glue in the hole, slid them off and put them in one by one so I knew which way the sort of the polarity of the magnet was. I then worked out which way everything else needed to go, turned the magnets over and did exactly the same thing again. So it's worth taking some time to plan in advance. Once you drop their magnets into the super glue, they are very, very difficult to get out. So make sure you plan ahead and you'll have no problems at all. So once again, thank you very much to Red Beam Designs who have given us this 10% off code. I'll put it on the screen now. It'll also be down in the description below with a link directly to the Dark Assembly terrain from redbeamdesigns.com. So just remember guys, the code is lowercases BlackJack Legacy 10, no spaces in that. click the link below, you can cut and paste it and put it in as well. What I would say as well, the kit that I bought was one of the secondary sections, which was the multi-layer one, and two of the smaller ones. So if you want a layout like I got, that's exactly what you would need to buy. The kits that I bought came to £128, so if you're using the 10% off code, you'll be saving nearly £13 there, which is not too bad. So head on over, check out redbeamdesigns.com. They also have a lot of terrain for things like The Walking Dead, which is absolutely excellent. I personally have bought some of the Star Wars Destiny card boxes, and I know anybody that will have been on the Shade Glass website as well will have seen that the guys over there just recently reviewed the Shadespire tournament boxes as well, which again have been very popular and were featured on Beasts of War recently as well. So head on over, have a look at redbeamdesigns.com. Remember, the 10% off code is only for Dark Assembly terrain, the terrain that you've seen in this video today. So let me know down in the comments what you think of it. Let me know if you're going to be picking any of it up, and I'll see you in the next video.